Hello, everyone, and welcome to Steve Rosenfield's stand-up comedy workshop show. We have an incredible lineup of comedians here tonight. You are going to see a group of comedians who have trained together in a workshop conducted by the award-winning comedy director, founder of the American Comedy Institute, and author of the book Mastering Stand-Up, Steve Rosenfield. Alumni of this workshop have gone on to perform on The Tonight Show, The Late Show, Conan O'Brien, Gotham Comedy Live, Saturday Night Live, Comedy Central, and they perform in the best clubs all over the United States and across the world. And speaking of all over the United States, we have students from all across the country performing with us tonight because now with our workshops online, no matter where you live, you can do stand up at the American Comedy Institute and work with Steve Rosenfield. I'll tell you more about our workshops in a bit, but I'm so excited to start the show. We have an amazing lineup of comedians. My name's Michaela. I'm going to be your host tonight. Happy to be here. Honestly, relieved to be here. I'm back in New York City, as you can see. I spent a lot of the pandemic, though, in Florida. It was terrifying. Thankfully, I was not alone. I had a great quarantine pod, two amazing people. They've been married for 25 beautiful years. They've seen all 8 seasons of Dexter thrice, and they still don't believe in global warming. It was Mike and Tina Fagan, just the greatest parents and quarantine buddies I could ask for. They live over in a 55 and over community. So for about 6 months, I lived in a 55 and over community, and I lay awake at night with the knowledge that I was the only fertile woman in at least a mile. And if this became a situation like where we had to repopulate the earth, there was going to be a line of old men knocking down my door. So I had to get out as soon as possible, but not before I established the parameters of the competition that would have ensued. You'd have to have an active driver's license to be eligible, first of all. Then I'd do like a jitterbug competition just so I could determine their style and flair. And then it'd be bocce ball tournament to the death. I would procreate with the lone victor. So thankfully for the men in that neighborhood, I'm back. I feel comfortable with you all already. I'll tell you, in college, I was a lesbian, and I still am because I'm not a quitter. I don't quit, even when things get hard. It's difficult. I have a lot of straight friends, but there are benefits to this because I get all of the clothes that their boyfriends gave them from their failed relationships. It's an amazing perk. That thick, soft flannel he draped around her shoulders while they were on the roller coaster so she wouldn't get chilly. Yeah, that's mine now. It's mine. And I can fit a wallet in the chest pocket. It's incredible. Sometimes they're apologetic too. They'll just be like, oh, he was going through a Hawaiian shirt phase. Do you want these? I should just donate them. I'm like, yeah, you should donate them to my favorite charity, Funky Dad Shirts for Me. Give them to me. I love them. It's fun. Sometimes they'll like sniff the sweatshirt too. They're like, oh my God, it still smells like him. I'm like, I'll wash it twice. He went to Yale. This is an Ivy League boy. I want all the girls at Fort Greene Park to think I'm smart. Give it to me. And I try and encourage them to date smaller men. I am a petite woman because the fit can be a problem. But the thing is, I need them to break up in order to get the clothes. And we all know a short king will cherish you forever. So that just kind of ruins the plan right there. Growing up, I was really disappointed that my parents didn't put me in childhood beauty pageants. I think we missed out on a golden opportunity right there. I love watching toddlers and tiaras. I love their little introductions. I had mine locked in. I know exactly what I'd want the woman announcing me to say. She'd probably be like, and now, coming to the stage, it's little Miss Michaela Fagan. She has brown hair, brown eyes, and a golden heart. Her 2 favorite things to do are rip worms in half and eat Kraft singles straight from their individual plastic packaging. Her record is 23 in a row. Wow, Michaela, that's a lot of cheese. She loves her parents, her cats, and maybe Jesus, but she's skeptical. Her favorite smells are gasoline and pork. And when she grows up, she'd like to be a Radio City Rockette. Good luck with that, sweetheart. Or rich. This is little Miss Michaela. I'd walk out. Oh, I could have won something. Just one thing. I'm so excited. I'm going to an elderly lesbian wedding next weekend. I am psyched. It's my aunt's friends. My aunt is gay. She's married to an amazing woman, and I love getting their advice. They love to give me advice. Problem is, they came out in a vastly different time. Their advice is a little bit outdated. Like, I'll go to them asking, okay, how long should I wait till I message this girl on TikTok? And they're like, okay, here's what you're gonna do, McKay. Here we go. Step number one, marry a man, wait 10 to 12 years. I'm like, no, I don't think you understood my question. No, it's all part of the process, okay? Then at your weekly all girls poker game, go on up to your friend Debbie, give her a passionate but clumsy kiss right on the side of the face. Wait 10 to 12 more years. It never happened. Never. All right, then at your goddaughter's communion, don't worry, Debbie's going to be there. She's like family. Go on up to her, kiss her full on the mouth, tell her you die for her, live happily ever after in secrecy. Tell no one. Does that help? I'm like, not really, but thank you. Thank you guys. I love you so much. Thank you all. I'm so excited to bring your first comic to the screen all the way from New Jersey. She is so funny. Please give it up for Emily Page.
Thank you so much, Michaela. So talking about weddings, I know some women who have gotten engaged, made all the wedding plans, and then the last minute broke it off. And I would like to think I wouldn't be so thoughtless about other people. You know, all those plans people make to get the wedding ready to go out. I would never do that. I just broke off the marriage. So I am divorced, and honestly, I think it's very important that everyone get divorced at least once, because your first marriage is a lot like your first job, you know, like you don't really know what you're doing and you don't really care. You just kind of show up and half-ass it and hope you can use it as a resume builder. When I first told my friends I was getting divorced, they were like, "What did you do with your ring? It looked expensive. Did you trade it in for cash?" I was like, guys, it's not all about the money. I traded it in for my happiness, my freedom, and cash. I really think if we would have had a king-size bed, we'd still be married. The bed was so small, we felt like we could never get away from each other. Yeah, the breakup was definitely because the bed was too small. And, you know, his girlfriend. I'm not against getting married again someday. I just feel like next time I'd be a lot more realistic about it. Like even my wedding vows would be more realistic. It'd be like, I take you, in all honesty, to be my second choice for convenience and for lack of trying, for richer or at least a 401k, in sickness, unless you throw up, or in health, unless you have a 7-figure insurance policy, as long as we both shall live, or until my ex comes to his senses and realizes I'm the love of his life and gets rid of that slut he left me for. So my daughter started stealing money out of my wallet. She's 2, and she's stealing money from my wallet. She is so advanced. Like, I didn't start stealing money from my parents till I was 14. So she has 12 years on me. Honestly, I'm so proud. The only problem is now when I go food shopping, I have to ask her for money. And I'm not saying she's a psychopath, but she does laugh every time we watch The Lion King and Mufasa dies. So there's that. Before I had my daughter, I never really understood why parents were always complaining they were so tired all the time. But since I have had my daughter, I have spent many nights wondering how much Tylenol is enough to make her sleep, but not kill her. Sometimes I feel like a bad mom. Like when I went back to work after having my daughter, everybody was coming up to me and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you must miss her so much." And I was like, who? Another question I get all the time is, do you want to have more kids? And I'm always like, more kids? I don't even know if I want this one. Dating as a single mom's been interesting. I was talking to this one guy and he was like, I understand I'll never be number one in your life because that's your daughter. And I just want you to know that I'm okay with being number two. I was like, my daughter's like fifth. So I think that makes you like ninth at best. I just feel like guys get the wrong idea about me because I'm a single mom. Like they think I'm looking for a baby daddy and I'm just looking for a babysitter. My boyfriend and I have been together for 6 months now, and we haven't had our first fight yet. So I wanted to get it out of the way, so when it did happen, it didn't become like this huge blow up. So the other night I said to him, I hate the way you load the dishwasher. And then he turned to me and he said, I hate the way you won't leave my apartment. Guys, my name's Emily Page. Thank you so much. Michaela, back to you.
Emily Page from New Jersey. Thanks, Emily. Your next comic coming to the screen is performing from Cambridge, Massachusetts. He is awesome. You're going to love him. Please give it up for Isa O'Neill.
My dog hates me. Recently, I turned 21. The day before my birthday, he ate my ID. The next day, he ate my birthday present, which was weed. So we had to rush him to the vet, and I missed my party. On the bright side, I'm 10 days sober. I'm very excited. I recently met a girl. I like her. I think she likes me. She's the youngest girl I met in over a year. She's 37. The other week, my friend called me. He asked me, Isa, are you excited to go back to college in person next semester? I said, not really. There are some things about in-person college that aren't that great. He said, like what? And I said, well, there's the showers that lack adequately hot water, the showers that just turn off all by themselves, the showers that just change temperature all by themselves, that the moment you get in a shower, someone is knocking on the shower door, demanding you get out already, the people who leave Post-it notes on my dorm room door would say, take quicker showers, you asshole. The lack of hygiene in the showers, the people who take music into the showers, the music they take into the showers, the people who don't shower, the broken dishwashers, the broken washing machines, the broken dryers, the fight over the one dryer that does work, my dorm room door that's broken, my uncomfortable bed, the inadequate desk, the lack of closet space in my dorm room, the inadequate lighting, the lack of sufficient electrical outlets, the improper heating and cooling, my roommate, my floor mates, the students in the other floors, all the other students, the alumni, the professors, the campus police, the university nurse, my academic advisor, the provost, the president, the dean, the comptroller, the chair of the board of trustees, the trustees, the school mascot, the curriculum. Did I mention my roommate? All the school teams, they always lose. The coaches, the athletes, the cheerleaders, the stadium, the people in the stadium, the lack of hygiene in the stadium men's rooms, the sinks that lack adequately hot water in the stadium men's rooms, the sinks in the stadium men's rooms that just turn off all by themselves, the sink in the stadium men's rooms that change temperature all by themselves, the people in the stadium men's rooms, the food, the classrooms. Did I mention my roommate? The people who want to talk to me about their campaign for residence hall administration post or student government post, as if I give a shit. The student government, the local businesses, the community, the weather, the people who want me to sign up to join their college social clubs. And who came up with college clubs? Who thought to themselves, the only thing more exciting than hanging out with the least interesting dorks on campus would be signing up to hang out with the least interesting dorks on campus. The people who take one gender studies class and make sure that it becomes my problem. The people that ask me, Isa, do you watch Joe Rogan? No, I don't watch Joe Rogan. I don't have a lobotomy. People ask me, hey, Isa, we know you can't get a date, but do you have any friends? And I say, thanks a lot, Mom. I actually do have friends. I called one up one time and I asked her for advice on how to get a date. And she told me that I need something to talk to girls about, something we could relate over. So she asked me what my favorite songs were. And I said, well, my favorite song is the 2008 to present Jeopardy theme song. And my second favorite song is the 2001 to 2008 Jeopardy theme song. Because without that song, you don't have full context for the 2008 to present Jeopardy theme song. And she said, maybe you should talk about your favorite movies instead. And I said, oh, well, my favorite movies are Predator, Predator 2, Alien, Alien versus Predator, Alien versus Predator 2, Mamma Mia, and she hung up on me. When I was young, my father pulled me aside and he said to me, there's something special about you, Isa, something unique. You need to stop it. Thank you. You've been an above average audience.
Isa O'Neill from Cambridge. Isa, I've heard that if you play like Pink Floyd's album The Wall and then watch Wizard of Oz, it syncs up perfectly. And I think you might be onto something with Jeopardy theme songs and the Predator franchise. I think they might sync up as well. Might be worth a try. Your next comic coming to the screen, a great friend. She is so funny and she's performing from New York City. Please give it up for the hilarious Beth Farber.
Good evening. I have a new guy in my life, but we have a lot of differences. I'm Jewish and he's a poodle. He's so entitled. He misbehaves all day long and then at night he wants to get into bed with me. I'm like, not so fast, buddy. I'm Jewish. There was a king, Antiochus. In 2000 BC, he pissed us off. Now it's 4,000 years later. We're still not over it. So when you want to snuggle at night don't think I'm going to forget that you woke me up at 6 a.m. because you wanted somebody to talk to, that you ate the steak I was going to have for dinner, and then you shit on my rug. And don't think being a purebred poodle, French poodle, makes a difference. I remember what the French did to the Jews. I ran into an old friend of mine the other day, and he was very upset. He said that his brother had gone to the dogs. And I said, I don't know why you're upset. If your brother has gone where my dog goes, then he's at the Royal Canin Spa right now, getting a blueberry massage. Anyone who uses the phrase, it's a dog-eat-dog world, has never met my dog. He wouldn't eat a dog. He won't even eat dog food. If he doesn't get a fillet, then that French bastard is on a hunger strike. I've noticed that a lot of dogs' names end in O. Leo, Arlo, Milo, Bruno, Coco, Gizmo, Mango, Django, Zuko. And then they're the ones that end in E. Mookie, Lukey, Frankie, Willie. And then they're the waspy ones. Winston, Hunter, Hudson, Tucker, Carlton, Grover, Parker, Kingston. And then there are the Irish ones, Kelly, Rooney. But I've never heard anyone say, hey, Goldberg, time to go home, Goldberg. Or come, Lichwitz, come. Shlomi, go get the ball, Shlomi. I've been spending a lot of time out in the country in the Catskills, and I stay with some friends of mine. They're a mixed couple. She's Jewish and he's Christian. And, you know, Jews go up to the country to have like peace and quiet. My friend's husband is a lovely guy, but I don't know how she can stand it. I mean, from the minute that guy gets up, the first thing he does is he starts mowing his lawn, gets on his tractor and is like, woo, 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 and he's mowing, mowing, mowing. I mean, how much fucking grass can you mow? And then as soon as he finishes mowing, he starts cutting. He gets out his chainsaw and he's like, he's cutting the trees. I'm like, we need the trees. Why are you cutting them? And you're gonna hurt yourself with that thing. And then when he finishes cutting, he starts hammering. All day long, he's hammering, hammering, hammering. I mean, they have a house. What is he building? What is he doing? And when he stops hammering, he starts shooting. And he's like, he's trying to shoot something for dinner. I mean, we're in walking distance of a Shop and Stop. And then finally, when night falls, and I think, okay, I can enjoy a quiet night in the country, then all of a sudden I hear boom, boom, boom. He's out there shooting off rockets. And I'm like, well, there goes my quiet night of binge watching Better Call Saul. This just in the news from the Department of Stand By Your Man. There was a woman testifying in Baltimore, and the judge said to her, can you tell us about your boyfriend? And she said, yes, my boyfriend is very, very nice, sensitive person. I can't say anything bad about him. And the judge said to her, didn't he shoot you in the face? And she said, oh yeah, besides that, I can't say anything bad about him. Thank you very much.
Beth Farber. Beth, it sounds like that guy might be building an ark. I don't know. He might know something that you don't. Probably talk to him, figure out what's up. Your next comment coming to the screen. You can see you can hear her actually weekly. She hosts a radio show on Star 99.9 all the way from Westport, Connecticut. It's the very funny Courtney Davis.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm married and a super monogamous person, I would say, but after COVID, I think I'm gonna have sex with just about everybody. So I think if you're in a relationship and you honestly aren't open to the idea of swinging after all this, like you probably just haven't been quarantining hard enough. Okay, shame on you. You should want to be in that place too. My husband and I, we've been together like 24/7, nonstop, you know, and it's kind of amazing because we're starting to get on the same page with everything. Like we feel the same about everything now. We feel like we just kind of both hate each other so much, you know. But we're better off than a lot of our friends. Like they're getting divorced, but we're not. We're in it. We just strongly dislike being around each other. So that's good. we don't have sex anymore. I don't know if you can tell, but we tried to schedule it, and we realized the only thing on that schedule that we stuck to was Taco Tuesday. It's a great night here. Yeah. I'm pregnant again. I have a toddler, but now I'm pregnant, and it keeps bringing back these bad memories about my last pregnancy because I had to have a C-section. And I remember I went to the hospital and they gave me Percocet and fentanyl for pain. And then they also gave me this stool softener called Colace. And on the second day, my Colace, it was missing. So I was like asking my husband who was in the room, hey, have you seen my Colace? This is really weird. And he was like, yeah, I took it. And that's when I realized just how Jewish my husband was. He would rather have an easy bowel movement than get high. It's so Jewish, right? So I told the nurse, I was like, this is so embarrassing, but like my husband took my Colace. And she was like, oh yeah, that happens all the time, honey. I was like, you sound a little anti-Semitic. Little anti-Semitic. I've now been looking for a new nanny, and my husband doesn't think I need one. He was like, well, you're a stay-at-home mom, but like, I'm not really a stay-at-home mom. I'm really more of a stay-in-bed mom. I'm just a mom who happens to be at home. So that doesn't work. And I had to fire my last nanny because she would always come in late, and she'd be like, why does it matter? You don't have a job. But yeah, I woke up though. That's how that works. I've been searching for a new nanny, and I had to realize I'm kind of racist because as I'm looking through the ads, I realize I just scroll right past the white chicks. Right past them. Okay. If I wanted someone who looked like me to take care of my kid, I'd take care of my kid. You know, I have plenty of time. I could do it, but I don't want that. You know, a lot of these white chicks, they speak English, and that's a problem because then I don't want to understand each other. Okay. I'm not here for a friend. So this agency I'm working with, the woman keeps asking me if the salary I'm offering is net or gross. And I was like, lady, I'm a stay-at-home mom who needs a nanny. Do you really think I know the difference between net and gross? Really? Like, I just learned that Russia was not where Canada is geographically. I just found that out. So something new that I'm thinking about. I'm leaning towards hiring this woman, though. She's from Colombia, and I just loved her. I was very impressed by her resume because you couldn't read a thing. I mean, she might as well have not put anything on there. I was like, you're perfect. You're hired. And I showed my mom a picture of this Colombian woman. She was like, she's way too hot. Like, she's going to have sex with your husband. And I was like, that would be incredible. Do you really think she would do that? Like, take care of my kid and have sex with my husband? Are you like, do you know how much I would pay? I would pay like double the net or gross or whatever they were talking about. Like, do you think she would go to Shabbat dinners with my in-laws? What else can this woman do? So my husband and I, we finally joined a bank account last year. And I mean, I do okay for myself. Last year I made $242. So not bad. He should want this. Yeah. And I was still excited to join accounts. Okay. Because he makes a little bit more than that. And the week we joined accounts, they froze it. And I swear to God, this happened. I called them up and I was like, you froze my account. They were like, yeah, we meant to. You came in to the account with so little and now you have so much. We just really need to like look into the account and into you a little bit more. I was like, well, clearly Citibank, you don't understand how a blowjob works. So thank you so much. My name is Courtney Davis. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great night.
Courtney Davis. I'll do one of those 3 requirements of your nanny. I will go to the Shabbat dinner. That's it. I'm not going to look at I'm not going to watch the kids. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to have sex with your husband. But the one thing, I'll do that. I want to mention before I bring up your next fantastic comedian that we have these workshops online every single month. And if you love making people laugh and you want to try stand-up comedy, you can do it at the American Comedy Institute, no matter where you are in the world. Our next workshop is going to start on May 11th, and you can visit comedyinstitute.com to learn all about it. Without further ado, our next comedian coming to the screen is performing from Brunswick, Maine. Very, very funny guy. You are going to love him. We love him. Give it up for Christopher Ladner.
Hi, thank you, Michaela. Wonderful to be here tonight. So, my name is Christopher Ladner, and I am a mortician with 5 teenage daughters at home. You know what I like most about my job? The silence. You know what disturbs me the most about my job? Knowing Granny put "open for business" tattooed on her backside. Gross. You can't unsee that. Oh, God. Living through this pandemic with these kids of mine has been like waking up every morning into a new episode of Naked and Afraid. Our local bulletin just announced there's been a 200% increase in COVID cases. And our kids are going back to school full time at the end of the month. We may all fucking die, but we're going to die happy. My goodness. My kids and my wife are all getting their vaccinations, so they're getting really excited about being fully vaccinated. Then we can all gather and travel together. So they're asking me when I'm going to get mine. I'm having a hard time seeing the upside. Nothing could have prepared me for raising girls, not even being a funeral director. At work, you know, I counsel families on a daily basis who wish that their loved ones were still alive. At home, my daughters wish everyone was dead. The memorial service, the funeral service that I'm responsible for putting together every week, you know, I'm responsible for the venue, the timing, who's going to do the readings, who's going to sing the songs, where the flowers are going to go. At home, I never know what the hell is going on. At work, or for work, the police will call me in the middle of the night. At home, police will call me in the middle of the night. My community trusts me with the intimate care of their loved ones. At home, no one trusts me, period. At work, cosmetics are applied to create a peaceful repose. At home, makeup creates a gothic raver in a mini dress. There's some acknowledgement in my profession that, death is final, that loved ones are never coming back. At home, there's no promise that my loved ones are even going to move out. My kids are always embarrassed by me. This week it's because I refused to put a Black Lives Matter sign in our front yard. They called me a cis white male clinging to my privilege. So I said to them, first off, I don't understand any of what you just said. Secondly, though, racists, they need funerals too. So I guess if I were going to be you, I'd hope that your dad buries enough racists that you lot can spend 4 useless years of your life in college somewhere chasing after a social science degree. Like that's going to do any good. My wife, she says I should mind myself and be careful about what I say to the kids. Actually, she says I shouldn't talk to them at all. Our youngest had come home one day crying from school because she had said crap. So I handled it. I put her on my lap and I put on my funeral director's voice. And I said, honey, you can't call people crap. You can't tell them they look like crap or that they smell like crap. And you can't tell them to go eat crap. Okay? Well, Daddy, I didn't say that. Well, honey, you must have said something. Daddy, I just got a question wrong on my quiz. And I said, oh, crap. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. If you can't say crap for that, you're fucked. Friends have been asking me if it's less gratifying doing comedy over Zoom. They seem to have forgotten I'm a mortician with 5 teenage daughters. I've never experienced laughter from a captured audience. Ever. And believe me, I've tried. I don't have a lot of dreams left. I really appreciate you all being part of this one. Good night.
Christopher Ladner. Christopher, I love you. I need you to make a television show or something. A mortician with 5 teenage daughters. It just doesn't get any. It's awesome. So cool. Screen. She is fantastic. What a lovely person, a wonderful friend, and such a funny performer. All the way from Washington, D.C., it's the very funny Yelena Kulik.
My son is 14 and he just got his report card. Because of this pandemic, his school is online and he got all C's. I called his teacher and I said, under these conditions, my son should be getting all A+. And she asked me, why? And I said, he's still alive. My daughter just took her driver's test. And she told me that because of this pandemic, the MVA officer will not get in the car with her. And I said, I'm so proud of you. You're just like me. When I drive, even before the pandemic, nobody will get in the car with me either. My daughter is smoking all the time and it smells funny. I asked her, what are you smoking? And she said, oh, that's the herb sage. It gets rid of a coronavirus. And I'm so proud of her. She's so caring. She smokes like all the time. And she was smoking at the kitchen and then she left. My husband walked in and he said, what is that smell? Are you smoking pot? I said, you don't know me at all. I don't smoke pot. I eat edibles. I used to hate going to the my husband business parties. I'd rather to stay home in bed, read a good book, but I don't feel this way anymore. I miss my husband's boss. Pinch me in the ass. I'll kill for that. I miss interacting with people. I was in a grocery store, and thank God this nice guy struck up the conversation with me. And I said, thank you so much for talking with me, because I don't travel anymore. I don't see people anymore. I don't eat out anymore. I don't drink. I don't hug people. I don't kiss. I feel so isolated. I feel depressed. He said, I'm really sorry to hear that, but could you please answer the question? Paper or plastic? I am interested in this new popular trends in America right now, like cryotherapy. It's when you expose yourself to sub-zero temperatures. And there's intermittent fasting, when you starve yourself all day long, almost every day. And then there is minimalism, then you can own more than 100 things. And I call this living, they call this living a happy and more meaningful life. In Russia, we call this Siberia. I think there's too many choices in America, like chicken. It's KFC, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, free-range, grass-fed, non-GMO, GMO, organic, no safe soy fat, no cruelty, gluten-free, humanely raised. In Russia, we don't have this problem. If you want a chicken, if you can find one, you catch it and kill it. When I was a little girl in Russia, on Sunday, my parents religiously sent me into the forest to pick mushrooms. I was a little suspicious of my parents' intentions. They sent me there alone. I was 5. I remember visiting my grandmother, and she said, our next door neighbor's little boy, Nikolai, he got poisoned by the wild mushroom he picked in the forest. He almost did not survive. And my father said, from which part of the forest did he pick them? So I never complained to my parents, just in case they were planning something. Later on, I honored their wish for me to get lost, and I moved to United States. Here's an irony. I learned that I have ADD by watching 30 seconds TikTok video. But I don't know what to do about it because I didn't finish watching the video. My husband called up to me and complained that I forgot to order grocery online. And I said, what do you want from me? Don't you see I'm on a computer running entire universe? My husband thinks that I ask for presents that are just too expensive. And I said, all right, I'll stop asking for the swimming pool. He said, thank you, that's better. And I said, can I please get a pool boy? Thank you so much. I love you.
Yelena Kulik. Hey, Yelena, I mean, if you can find one and you can catch one, you can have a pool boy. Just like you gotta find one and catch it. Your next comic coming to the screen is performing from Kansas. We love her so much. She's so funny. Please give it up for Regina Weinmiller.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Regina, and my name can be mispronounced to rhyme with the female body part. I remember there was a substitute teacher in middle school calling roll once, and it was awkward. Like, Regina? Is there a Regina here? I'm thinking there's probably several. And, I'm just saying, like, maybe. If you don't know how to pronounce somebody's name, just start with the way that doesn't sound like your naughty bits. And, because, like, if I see the name Dennis, I'm not going to call you Dennis. And there was a woman at work one time, and she had the same name on her badge. I said, hey, another Regina. She said, it's Regina. I was like, why? Oh. And, it's so weird. Anytime you get a random friend request from somebody whose profile picture is flipping off the camera, like, hi, can we be friends? You don't know me, but this is the first impression I like to make. I want to look at all your pictures. And so I have a widow's peak, you can tell on Zoom, but I hated it when I was a kid. And so I told my mom, and I said, as she said, honey, there's a lot of famous people with widow's peaks, like Gina Davis and Marilyn Monroe, a lot of celebrities. Did you know that? I said, oh yeah, well, I guess so. Actually, a kid told me I look like Eddie Munster. And I think I look sexy in stiletto heels. Until I try to walk. I look like a newborn calf in heels. Or like Swiper trying to steal something. Swiper, no swiping. I'm not stealing, I'm just trying them on. And have you ever seen a kid with a wedgie so bad it looks like their butt is trying to swallow their pants? And it doesn't even bother them. I need to get to that point in my life. And okay, I'm a parent, and my daughter, I tried to teach her healthy eating habits. She's only 4. And so I tell her, you can only have one cookie. And she starts to repeat my rule. And she says, okay, I can only have one cookie at a time. I said, no, one cookie. She said, okay, one cookie at a time. I think she might be a genius. And I was tucking her in the other night. She said, Mom, I love you, 26. Okay, I'll play along. Honey, I love you, 27. She said, Mom, I love you, 28. I said, oh, it's so sweet. Honey, I love you, 29. She said, Mom, I love you, 28. Okay, good night. And, something nobody tells you before you become a parent is that long after your kids are sleeping through the night, your sleeping habits are going to be jacked up for years. Years. The other night, I was so tired, and I woke up to a loud noise. I grabbed my phone, posted giant thud 2:15 a.m. on Facebook, and went back to sleep. So I just figured if I get murdered, At least I've left the first clue. That's how tired I am. I think a small part of every parent wants to get back at their kids for waking them up so much when they were babies. Like going to their bedroom. Hey, hey, I'm hungry. I'm uncomfortable. I don't know why I'm upset. Let him go back to sleep. Wait 10 minutes. Hey, hey, I'm hungry. Give me something to eat. Ew, not that. My name is Regina. You guys have been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much.
Ooh, Regina. Regina, I think your daughter and Emily's daughter could like really do a heist. She's stealing money from wallets. Your daughter's really smart with the cookie thing. I just think we should be afraid of that duo in the future. They're going to do something.
Yeah.
Something. Your next comic coming to the screen is performing from New York City, just across the river. Hello, I wish I could see you. You're going to love him, and his name is Joel Jeske.
Hello, I'm Joel Jeske, and I live in New York. To tell you how cutting edge New York is in dealing with its rat problem, they're using falcons. Falcons. Now, I haven't heard that the falcons have been much help in combating the rat population in the city. I did read that they carried away a Park Avenue Chihuahua. So they're doing some good jobs. People don't think I'm gay. And I am. And I understand this because I'm really, really bad at it. Like, really awkward. All thumbs. Now, if you think about it and you're gay, all thumbs wouldn't be that bad. I hear he's all thumbs. Unfortunately, it's not like that. You see, it's like the clubs I go to aren't where the cool gays go. You know, the cool gays. At least, that's what we call them. The places I go, the male strippers hand out coupons for a free lap dance or nachos. I mean, what can I say? I like nachos. I tried to tip a go-go boy one day, and I got my watch band caught in his G-string. As bad as I am at being gay, I do have a partner. He's very patient with me, and he is as bad at being gay as I am. I mean, he giggles when anyone says penal colony. We were in a sex club. There was a sign on the wall that said no scatting. He thought the jazz singer had been canceled for that night. Now, I told him I want to practice safe sex. So I went out and I got condoms with spermicide. He thought spermicide was a crime on Law and Order SVU. So, no, we had just been living together, I think, just a little while. And he wasn't out to his family. And suddenly we hear that they want to come to New York for a visit. Well, he starts getting really nervous. And I said, don't worry about it. We'll just tell him we're roommates. He said, how are we going to explain one bed? And our penis-themed decor? Well, with him not being out, I knew I was going to have that moment that they have in all gay rom-coms where the one partner turns to the other and says, you're ashamed of me. Because he'd say, yes, bitch. But, I think now that people have a really hard time being politically correct. Because first, you support the LGB community, then the LGBT community, then the LGBTQ community. Now it's LGBTQ plus, like HBO, then HBO Max, I'm sure they're going to have HBO Prime Max, then HBO Platinum Max, then HBO Prime Platinum Max Plus. I never thought I'd say this, but I miss the day when we were all just fags. Years ago, I did a show in Germany, and I gotta tell you that Germans are so much more open and comfortable with sex, much more than we are. I went to the sex shop, and in German, it's called Ja, we come. In English, it's Ja, we come. It was huge. It was this well-lit, gigantic building. It was an erotic superstore. It got 5 stars on Yelp, so I had to go. And when I got my purchase, I finished up, and I needed a bag. Now, in Germany, when you need a bag, either you bring your own or you purchase one to reuse later. I decided to buy one, and it was fluorescent pink, and it said, Ja, we come, emblazoned across it. I use it now to grocery shop. It's really been a pleasure talking with you all. I'm Joel Jeske, and let's do this again real soon. Thank you very much. Back to you, Michaela.
Woo! Joel Jeske! Joel, I'm going to need you to tell me where that bar is, okay? Because I want the nachos. You can have I'll take the coupon for the nachos. And nachos at gay bars, I just want to let people know this. I'm sure you know this. Instead of just putting the sour cream in like a dollop in the middle, they drizzle. And it's incredible. I've only seen that at gay bars, but every single one, drizzle. Your final comic coming to the screen tonight. He is such a funny performer, all the way from Buffalo, New York. Let's give it up for Gian Miso.
All right, hey, thank you. Look, I gotta be honest with y'all. I love booty. I love ass. My whole life among men, I've been considered what we like to call an ass man. Well, I started out as a butt boy, paid my dues like we all do, and worked my way up from butt boy to ass man. Yeah, I asked my wife if women talk like men in that regard. Like, are women saying, I don't know about you ladies, but I'm a dick gal? She said, no, we don't call each other dick gals. We call each other size queens. Okay, consider me an ass king. These days, if you're in a bad mood and you wanted to get in a fight with a man, all you have to do is call them a bitch. But in the olden days, if you wanted to fight a man, you had to be much more creative and imaginative than that. You had to say something like, come, you owner of no good quality. You are the most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, and then on top of that, an hourly promise breaker. Your wife looks like a toad's bump. Yeah, if you called a man a bitch in the olden days, they'd be like, what? Go away, you 4-foot fool. Your wit is as thick as Tewksbury mustard. I'd punch you in the face, but my hands would get infected by your ugly. Have any of y'all ever been woken up in the middle of the night by your phone getting excited because you think it's a booty call, but it ends up being an Amber Alert? So now you got to transfer your horny energy to concerned energy. Like, no, we got to save her kid. I was woken up at 2 a.m. from an Amber Alert, and the Amber Alert goes off like, bah, bah, bah. The text message reads the make, model, and license plate of the car that has the kid in it. And I was practically still asleep, so I read the car as Rogue Nissan instead of Nissan Rogue, as though it was a Nissan that just decided to go rogue. Like, I'm going to go steal a 7.5-year-old child now. I was out with my friends over the weekend, and we met someone pretty cool after introducing ourselves as Kaya, Morena, and me, Gian. This person goes, hey, Kaya, Morena, Gian, those are all names of birth control. Now we know who really we are named after. Yo, your birth control failed? What are you using, Morena? I like that. If it's a girl named Morena. Yeah, I had an awful therapist who didn't really listen to me. He told me, it sounds like you've been struggling with mental illness, addiction, and an identity crisis for over the past 40 years of your life. I'm 31. Ever since COVID hit, everybody's been in a crisis. Finally, I'm fitting in. You know, people say I look like the actor Scott Baio, which just heightens my identity crisis because practically nobody knows who Scott Baio is anymore these days. And when I wear glasses, people think I look like that cartoon character from The Simpsons, but the Spanish version, Latino Milhouse. You've seen him on Telemundo's Los Simpsons. Lisa, mi amor. Another reason why I have an identity crisis is because of my name, Gian. My mom cut the name short from Giancarlo to Gian because she thought if the name was shorter, then that way it would be easier for people to pronounce. It's not. Gian is spelled G-I-A-N. Some people who have to read my name off paper are like, oh, finally, a short name. I got this one. Guyon? Oh, this is a short name. I know this guy. Gah. Oh, good, a short name. Gain. You know the common name Gain. Everybody's gone to school with a gain. You know how like on the first day of 4th grade, the teacher would be like, oh dear, we've got 3 gains in our class this year. So, yeah, like for real, why I have an identity crisis is if you didn't get those pop culture references before, like I just look like some dude who's possibly fluent in Spanish, but the only Spanish that I really know is because that was a genetic gift given to me by my dad, but he wasn't around to speak his native tongue Spanish to me. So that was just a waste of a Anybody else go to a deli and try to speak Spanish, but the only thing that really comes out is, yeah, let me get that turkey sandwich. Yo, thank you guys so much. Good night. I'll see y'all next time.
Gian Misto. And that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to all the comedians who performed tonight. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And our next workshop is starting on May 11th. So you can visit comedyinstitute.com to learn more. Again, thanks.